Good afternoon, dear listeners, and welcome to joining us on Special Echo, your platform where we amplify voices, share experiences, and spark conversations that shape our economy and our society. I'm your host, Fru William, and of course, I am delighted to have you with us, Ms. Nyanga Sandy. It is the first time you're coming on board Season Media Radio. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hope you're all doing good.
Yes, I'm very great. I hope you too.
Of course, we thank God for the gift of life. So today, in today's rapidly evolving world, corporate spaces are opening up in new ways, but for many young girls, the journey into these spaces remain complex, demanding, and sometimes discouraging. Now, from gender stereotypes and cultural expectations to workplace bias and the pressure to constantly prove oneself, young women continue to navigate a delicate path. Our theme for today is Young Girls in Corporate Spaces, charting the path through a complex society. And we are going to equally add the economy. And of course, you have been an instrumental stakeholder so far as molding young girls is concerned in our society in recent years. And we want to really thank you for accepting our invitation.
Thank you. You're welcome.
And of course, to help us unpack this topic of today, it is important that being joined by you, we have different ideas. From the Cameroonian epic society to the Cameroonian modern society. How are these young girls, what are the difficulties, the challenges they are facing in today's digital era? But before then, we would like you to briefly introduce yourself so that our audience should know exactly the caliber of guests we have in today's edition.
Caliber, that's such a big word. Okay, I'm Nyanga Sandy, as you rightly said. I am a digital brand strategist, a skills trainer, a writer, and a lot of things behind the scenes.
A lot of things.
Yes. So I'm the director of training at Maxwell Training, which is part of Maxwell Technologies. And I'm also the founder of ProH, a skills acquisition firm. I would call it an academy where we train people in digital skills and help in placing them in jobs, both remote and on-site jobs.
Both remote and on-site jobs. I believe our audience, the audience is going to know exactly the reason why we brought you on board, because we are talking of remote and on-site.
Exactly.
And with the digital space, it is becoming a current thematic. Now, from your experience, what are some of the major challenges young girls face when they enter into the corporate spaces? Because we have education, we have the university, that every year thousands of graduates are sent off.
Over 100,000 each year in Cameroon.
100,000. And so we don't expect all these ones to have jobs daily, or rather every time they graduate. But then again, with the digital space, opportunities are coming in. How do these young ladies specifically navigate and the challenges they face, all from your experience?
Okay, I'm going to speak more from the perspective of challenges for now. The challenges they face, in fact, the society is already quite limiting to the woman, because there is a lot of scrutiny, there are a lot of expectations, there's a lot of the what should and shouldn't be. So this is not just about society, it's also the fact that the women assimilate this and it affects the way they get into the workplace. So most of the biggest challenges that young women face when going into the job market is that they have absorbed whatever society thinks of them. The thing that you're not very intelligent, the thing that you need to prove yourself to a certain extent, the thing that you don't deserve certain kinds of positions, you don't speak in some rooms. When women assimilate this, they become very limiting. So the challenge is not just the society, it's the fact that the girl child has accepted this, so they shrink themselves when they're going out. So growth becomes a problem.
Growth becomes a problem.
Yes.
So you're in somehow making reference to societal pressure.
Yes, pressure, cultural scrutiny, constructs, basically.
Okay.
Yes.
So many of these young women say that they struggle with expectations
Yep.
placed on them, not just at the workplace,
Yep.
at home,
Yep.
their communities. So how do these cultural norms and traditional beliefs affect the young girls specifically?
The play with your psychology.
Wow.
Yes.
And what do you mean playing with the psychology?
They make you to believe what it is. One thing is that if somebody continuously tells you that you don't have sense,
okay.
you will begin to believe that you don't have sense.
Okay.
Right? If you're with friends and the friends are always acting like you're not very smart, you begin to believe that you're not very smart. You will deny now because you're a grown up and you feel like you know your life. But basically, that's how it is. It plays with your psychology. So when the culture begins to define what you can be or what you should be, what you cannot do and what you can do, you absorb it and it becomes a limiting factor for you. And then it also becomes the obvious now. The obvious perspective is the fact that people say, oh, you get into this workplace and then somebody's telling you, oh, a woman cannot lead the team. Leave it. Let that other person lead the team. A woman cannot do this. A woman cannot be talking like that. So you just find yourself in spaces where you need to put extra effort in order to do the things that you thought were normal for human beings.
Putting in extra effort. We understand that when you're already in Cameroon, especially when you come from a minority group, you got to work twice, double compared to some other people. Being true, some also speak about subtle discrimination. Discrimination being overlooked, talked over, and doubted because of their age and, of course, their gender, like you were already saying.
Yes.
But have you personally experienced or observed gender bias in recruitment, promotion, or leadership opportunities with your role, with your experience so far in the domain of molding young women and young people?
Okay, personally, yes and no. And I would like to say that bias is not always very loud. Bias can be so subtle that it comes as care. Like somebody would, the moment there is something to be done, and somebody would just be like, "Oh, leave that. I think this person can handle it better." They are not saying it like Sandy cannot do it. They're saying it like Sandy should let William do it. Subtly, in their minds, they've already placed Sandy in a place of, oh, if Sandy is in a position with William, she should let William go first and she comes second. So that is how it comes off most of the times. It's not usually very loud. So have I experienced it? Yes. I've been in rooms where
because you're a lady, they will not give you
more people. Not necessarily like they will not. They already judge you before you speak.
Oh wow.
Yes, you are in a room where there are so many men and they are talking certain things. Or yes, you are the only lady or ladies are few. So they already look at you people like, this ones, they just get you people for the sake of gender balance. So they will like, oh, you're just in this room for the sake of gender balance. And then when you start talking, they would say, oh, that is very brilliant. And sometimes I still feel like that brilliance is not really brilliance. Enough. It's like they're like, oh, no, it's like, I didn't expect you to be that smart. That's how it comes up. So why is that happening? Because they had judged you for being a woman, not necessarily for being human. And
not necessarily for your qualities.
Yes.
Now, faced with that, what strategies do you think, or have you ever thought about adopting, in coming out of this psychological, like you named it, trauma? Should I say trauma? Or maybe confusion, or maybe influence, and so on and so forth.
Influence.
Okay.
First thing, define myself to me before I go out. Because when you know I know this sounds cliche, but when you know who you are, when you know what you do, you are able to carry yourself in a way that reflects or that can give a picture to what other people see. If people say stuff about you and you choose to shrink, it's going to reflect. People are going to see you shrinking. So the first thing is define yourself. Define who you are and carry yourself as that person. Then the next thing I do is that I document my work.
Okay.
I have evidence of everything that I do.
You're talking about personal branding, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I show up. I talk about my activities. I talk about my wins. I talk about my impact. So even if you're blind, you'll see it. Okay. So in that way, nobody gets to judge me because they don't know me. Because you would know me whether you like it or not.
And even they don't know you yet, they're going to know
You're going to know me.
Perfect.
So it makes it easy. I don't need to prove a lot because there is a lot that speaks for me. And then I make sure that I master what I'm talking about. If people already doubt you, do everything possible to not go there and be bluffing. Master what you're talking about. Master what you are saying to the point where you speak with clarity and people listening begin to feel like, oh, this person has expertise in this thing. I think I should have a conversation with them. When you speak like that, it helps you a lot. And then I built strategic relationships. One thing
strategic relationships.
Yes.
That's one thing that many people, especially the youth of nowadays, don't actually understand or know how to go about it. One thing that brings you, or rather, one thing you are about to say, that makes you think or talk or engage into strategic relationship. What's that particular motive? Because I know that people trust you depending on where you are connected. I love that.
This is just it. Okay. Whether we like it or not, if I hold your hand into a room, the way you're going to be received in that room is different from the way if you would have been received if you walked in alone. So I build those relationships so that I don't have to talk about myself all the time, so that I walk into spaces and people get to talk about me. It makes it easier for me. Walking into spaces and people get to talk about you. It makes it easier for anyone who ventures into building strategic relationships. But strategic relationship is going to be a topic of another day because it's a big thing. It's really broad. Broad, as you said. But now that's why these challenges we see young women rise, lead teams, break barriers, just like what you are doing in your own cycle. Now, what opportunities exist today for young girls who want to thrive in the corporate environment? Opportunities, I really don't like when things come from this angle because sometimes we sound like we are trying to break stereotypes and we still end up creating them. Okay. Because if we start looking at opportunities for women, it starts looking like we are creating spaces for women. Only for women. At the end of the day, we are still creating another space. So we are not giving them room. So rather what I would say to young women is that more and more people are beginning to understand that the skills needed at the workplace are not gender specific. And even if they were, emotional intelligence, adaptability. Today, AI can do a lot of things, but who are the people that can give the human touch to AI? Women are even, women have the nurturing tendency, so they kind of understand humans a little bit more. Yeah. Women are emotional and men are rational. That's what we say, right? Yes. And with that, it means that women can fit into spaces that need emotional connectivity. So be able to use whatever you have as a strength to push yourself into the market. So the opportunities are there. More and more people are beginning to understand the role of women. More and more people are looking for skills and not the gender the skills come in. More and more people are following success stories and looking for who can replicate that story. So as long as you have been able to do it with A, they're going to forget that you are a lady and then call you to come and do it for them. So stop looking at what is limiting you. The opportunities are there because the world is becoming more universal or more it's adopting the changes yes. And we understand that you're stressing on competence. Being competent, regardless of the fact that you are a lady or a gentleman. So now the mentorship, because what we see you being competent is all about also schooling these younger ones on how to be competent exactly. So this mentorship that often comes, that has been coming in this conversation. How important is mentorship for young women, and how can a young girl perhaps listening to us right now find the right mentor? Okay. All right. How important is mentorship? Because most don't have mentors. Yes. I'll say it in one sentence. Mentors help you see problems before they come.
Wow.
They help you see the future before you get there. This is because you don't take mentors because you love them. You don't take mentors because they have succeeded. You don't take mentors because they look pretty. You take mentors because they have walked the kind of journey you are walking, and you believe that they are going to guide you in that journey. Okay. So when you keep that in mind, it means you're starting a career and another person has been in that career for 10 years. They understand it better than you.
And they know it everything.
Yes. So whatever you are about to do, the pitfalls you're about to get into, the challenges you're about to face, they can foresee.
And they already experienced.
Yes, and they experienced it, or they have seen it in another person. So they can guide you towards the right directions to take. So is mentorship important? Absolutely.
How do you get the right mentor?
And how do you get the right mentor? Again, we go back to strategic relationships. So fit yourself in spaces where you would find people who have walked the path you're walking. I know that this generation makes it so easy for us to do millions of things just from our homes. But while you're doing stuff from your home, think of it. How do I strategically connect with people that matter? Follow them on the media. Go to spaces where you would find them. Go to them in person. Maybe you meet somebody at an event and you want to talk to them. You meet somebody online and then you are engaging on their content and you are engaging in their spaces.
Do you understand that there are some people who are introverts and so they are not really open?
Oh, please, that is such a lazy excuse.
Thank you for saying that. Because it's oftentimes that is the exact reason they're going to give me.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, because I myself, I'm kind of an introvert. But then again, when you know what you have, where you come from, where you need to get to, I mean, you have to double it.
It's not about feelings. I always say this thing, motivation is not enough. You don't even need to be motivated to do things. You don't even need to be in a particular way to do things. When you understand that something is important, you do it. So I don't care whether you're an introvert or you're an extrovert. I look like a social butterfly out there. But normally, in my house, I can stay in my house for 2 weeks and not step out. So is that a life of an extrovert? The way that I look? Not necessarily. So I am an extreme introvert and an extreme extrovert.
Like what people commonly say, ambivert.
Yes, maybe I'm an ambivert. People just like to link things up and give it names.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's basically what it is. So choose to take everything you do like a job. When you do it from a place of feelings, you're going to fail. So stop thinking what you are. Stop giving yourself names. Decide what you need to be and then be it.
Deciding what you need to be and then be it. And we're going to observe a break with this one. Right after, we are going to proceed with the topic of the day. Welcome back on Season Media Radio. If you're just joining, dear listeners, you're listening to Specialico, your economic program airing every Friday as from 2 p.m. on Season Media Radio. And of course, the topic of today, young girls in corporate spaces, charting a path through a complex society. Miss Nyanga Sandy is our guest of today. With her years of experience in molding young people, she accepted to be the one and only resource person for today's edition, and we thank you again, Sandy, for being with us. So we are going to proceed. We have been talking about the challenges, we are talking about the mentorship, we have talked about the competence you need to have. Now, corporate programs or networks that actively support female talent.
Yes, I run programs, but I'm the kind of activist that would say I don't want to keep people out to work with them. I want people to work within spaces and build themselves within those spaces. Like I mentioned earlier, if we choose to build separate rooms for women, we don't help the women to fit in the society. We just help them to be more of women in women's spaces. So I pay a lot of attention to women and women's development, but in the same spaces where I accommodate men who want to be in those spaces.
Exactly. And even talking about women, because in the Cameroonian economy, when we talk about the informal economy alone, women are championing this sector.
Yes.
But we have talked about mentors. Beyond these mentors, do you think the families the communities have a role to play in molding these young women?
Yes.
How?
And first of all, communities are doing it. We have a lot of programs, like we have the E-Women, we have the I-Woman.
And the Go Mad, for instance?
We have Go Mad.
Okay.
We have so many conferences that come up, and these conferences are spaces where women can see what other women are doing, what other people are doing. They get to learn, they get to get motivated, and it just kind of sparks something in them to get out there and get their stuff done. So yes, the society is doing that. And now we go back to families and communities. I would like to insist that the family is the foundation of a society.
Yeah.
A broken family is going to produce a broken society.
Right,
so if a child comes from a family that is not supportive, you don't expect that child to grow. So as the head of a family, I'm an elder sister, and
congratulations.
yeah, so I think of this like I'm the head of a family.
Yeah, it's not easy.
So as the head of a family, if children do not grow up seeing success, if children do not grow up seeing exceptional talent, if children do not grow up seeing you do things in certain spaces, those children are not going to believe that those things can be done.
Yes.
So the family has that responsibility. Whether you're an elder person, you're a head of a family, you're a parent, just know that you automatically have the responsibility to show that child what success means, because it is what you do that will tell that child what is possible.
It is what you do that will tell that child what is possible for them. Now, do you think one who does not have self-confidence is a skill that she should be looking forward to building?
Of course, yes. You know what I said when you asked me about what I do before in order to navigate the world?
Yes.
I define myself. You cannot define yourself if you don't have confidence. And how do you build confidence? By building the skills.
And knowing what you stand for.
And knowing what you stand for, knowing what you have. So without confidence, it will be so difficult. You'll be building skyscrapers on quicksand, because everything is going to fall at some point.
Even in the midst of self-confidence, knowing what you have, knowing what you know, or being focused on what you want to achieve, common mistakes and pitfalls still exist. Young women, should they go face forward into these difficulties, or should they avoid them?
You cannot avoid difficulties. If you avoid difficulties, you're never going to be strong. If you avoid difficulties, that's what the society wants you to be. You're always going to be at the back, because the people who move to the front are the people who are able to break the barriers before them and see what is ahead of it. If you don't try breaking the barriers, you're never going to see what is ahead. So you cannot avoid difficulties. Face them, but face them intelligently. Facing
challenges intelligently.
Yes.
Which is very important. But you know, the young women, or rather women in our society, the African society, we have a different image about women.
Yes.
And so having to embrace the corporate world, having to embrace daily business activities, and still having to cater for the family. How do you, or how does a woman balance this?
How do you balance it? By building clarity in whatever you do. I really cannot, I don't like to talk a lot about family responsibility for women, because I'm not a mother and I'm not married. So there are things.
You must not be married, but as an elder,
yeah,
maybe, you know.
I just want to say that so that those people don't come for me. Because every time I talk about it, they're like, oh, Sandy, you will not understand. I'm like, okay, let's pretend I will not understand. But if you're somebody who has a lot going on in your life, you need to first of all make up your mind that you are human. And human means that you have a lot of things looking for you, and all those things need to get done. I'm not saying that you should or that you should discard your femininity. I mean that you should not emphasize on the fact that you're feminine, because if you pay too much attention to the fact that you're feminine, you're going to just fall in those pitfalls that we're talking about, because you're going to find in a place where you're doing people pleasing, you are avoiding negotiations, you are avoiding confrontation, you want to be silent all the time. So you find yourself in that space where there is a lot that you are letting go, not necessarily because you want, but because you're just trying to be the baby girl. So I would say that find a way to, one, be clear on your value, 2, be clear on your principles and what exactly you are. And 3, give your life structure. In your family, give it structure. In your workplace, give it structure. Do not try to do something when one is over. Do something when it is time for that thing to be done. That way you are not going to sacrifice a part of your life for the other.
So one thing at a time.
Yep.
One
kind
thing
of.
at a time.
Yep.
So as we then look forward, or rather look into the future, what changes would you like to see in the young ladies or in the corporate culture to make it more inclusive and supportive of young women?
Okay, so I would like you to clarify that question. What do I want to see in the corporate space or in the young women themselves? Because those are 2 different things.
What do you want to see in the corporate space that welcomes the young women?
Okay. All right. The things I would want to see in the corporate space is, first of all, we should reduce the stereotyping. Everybody can be anything. It doesn't matter the bodies they came in. So let people be. Stop assuming that somebody is somebody, or that somebody is not fit or very fit just because they are man or woman. And then potential doesn't have a gender.
Potential doesn't. That's a powerful thing. Potential
doesn't have a gender. Everybody can be amazing. Everybody can do work. So if you see that somebody can do something, do not put in that fear or that gender thing into the conversation to start limiting who can and who cannot do it. Give people equal opportunities. Give people room to prove themselves. Give people room to be able to live up. And there's this thing, please, past experiences should not affect how other people are. I know this is tricky. Past experiences means maybe in the past you had met a lazy woman and then you just assume that every other lady that is coming is lazy. No, if you do that, you limit the women that are coming into spaces. You limit the women that are really intentional about growth. So let everybody be able to prove themselves. Be tough. Yes, if you want to be tough, no problem. But just give people room to
for
prove
them
themselves.
To grow, prove themselves and grow. So
exactly.
If a teenage girl, a university student, a young graduate is listening to us right now, dreaming of building a career, a corporate career, or regardless, be it corporate, be it independent, so far as it is business-wise, one strong piece of advice, what would it be?
Never stop learning.
Never stop learning.
Never stop learning. Keep learning, keep growing. Do not shrink. Speak up, show yourself, and make sure that you have a track record of your work, because your work is going to speak for you where people doubt you.
Making sure that you have a track record of your work, that's making good use of the social media platforms we have.
Yes.
LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram.
Even TikTok.
Yes. Beautiful. So those are actually powerful words. But now, how do you think people, not only the ladies, but men, be it men and women, how do we contribute in making, these spaces, these corporate spaces, more safer, fairer, and more inclusive for both genders?
We are the people, like we said. Stop stereotyping. Stop assuming. Give people equal spaces. That's what we should do. And back in our communities, we should encourage choices.
Encourage choices.
Yes. Let's not.
For instance, if a young person says he or she wants to do this, they should give her the space or give them the space to do it.
Exactly. Let young people be able to venture into things. Let's not keep that normal construct of finish university, get a job, get married. People dream beyond that. Form. Yes. That journey is too basic. People dream beyond that. People have different things. Somebody might want to finish university and they're thinking of starting a business. Don't belittle their thoughts or their ideas just because you think that a business is too tough for a woman. So let women try, encourage their choices, continuously push them to become the best of themselves.
Thank you so much, Nyanga Sandy.
You're welcome.
For sharing your insights, for sharing your experiences with us today.
You're welcome.
We recall that you're Nyanga Sandy, you're a young entrepreneur.
Yes.
You're equally a gender advocate.
Yes.
And of course, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Dear listeners, the journey of young girls in corporate spaces is not just their fight. It has proven from the conversation of today to be a collective responsibility.
Yeah.
When girls rise, organizations grow and society equally progresses.
Exactly.
And of course, this brings us to the end of today's edition of your special eco program on Season Media Radio. Join us again next time for yet another engaging and thought-provoking edition next week, Friday, same time on Season Media Radio. I remain your host, Fro William. Until then, stay inspired, stay informed, and keep believing in your potential. Bye-bye.